More than just a pet, your dog is a source of unconditional affection, your best buddy and your partner. However, have you ever questioned whether they really do realize how much you adore them? Dogs have unique ways of communicating with us, even though they don't speak our language. In this video, we'll reveal 9 original and endearing methods to express your love for your dog in a language they can truly comprehend. Because tip number 9 is revolutionary and will fortify your relationship like never before, stay with us through to the very end. Together, we can give your pet the same level of love that they give you each and every day. Get to know your dog. Spend some time truly getting to know your dog. Dogs can be as complex as people, and they frequently are. Although that's a wonderful place to start, we're not only talking about finding out where they like to sleep or what kind of snacks make them happy. We mean getting a thorough grasp of the elements that influence their behavior. Does your dog enjoy chasing after anything that moves? Or would they rather curl up for a Netflix marathon and get belly rubs? Every dog has their own peculiarities and preferences, such as a toy they won't play with or a blanket they prefer to be laid out in a certain way. These distinctive traits define your dog's personality, and you will become their most treasured human once you learn their doggy love language. Nothing, after all, expresses I love you more clearly than being aware of the precise position of their hidden itchy spot. Accept routine. Surprise predictability is comforting to your dog. When they can predict what will happen next, whether it's dinner, their morning stroll, or a belly rub before bed, they feel secure. For dogs, love and security are closely related. For example, you can know your dog is watching the time if they are accustomed to getting dinner at precisely 6 p.m. Don't be shocked if they give you a disapproving glance since you're late. Following their walking routine, that is essentially a letter of love for them. At 7 o'clock a.m., they realize it's time to get outside, take in the fresh air, and maybe even give the neighbor's cat a bark. Dogs depend on regular habits to feel loved, despite the common misconception that they are carefree. For a dog, nothing says I love you more than the consistency of a routine. Allow your dog to savor the grass. You may be sure that you will uphold the law and order of life by developing a love for the great outdoors, especially grass. Yes, for some reason, dogs really love to roll around in it, eat it, or just lie down and act like they own the yard. Undoubtedly, we might not quite understand why our dogs insist on rolling around like crazy in that one spot with a little overbearing natural aroma. We should just accept it, at least in a symbolic sense. Grass brings your companion happiness. Allowing your dog to enjoy something they love, even if it's a little painful, is the perfect way to show them how much you care. Even if it means enduring an additional bath later on, or having to watch them eat plants with the ferocity of someone with a personal grudge, leave them be. Act as a mirror for them. Let's say your dog naps on the ground. Instead of getting up to do anything else, why not pick up a book and sit close by? Being with your dog all the time isn't always a sign of love. Your dog, I promise, understands that just being there provides a shared experience. Another enjoyable method to strengthen your relationship with your dog is to mimic their body language. For instance, stretch along with your dog. Dogs are extremely sensitive to their owner's actions, despite the fact that this may sound absurd. You don't have to roll on the ground every time they do, of course, but who's to judge? Avoid isolating yourself from social interaction. Yes, your dog is aware that you are their first priority, but keep in mind that dogs are gregarious creatures. They enjoy interacting with new people, playing with other dogs, and getting as much attention as they can. These encounters, whether with a nice neighbor or another dog at the park, offer your dog the opportunity to increase their social circle, boost their self-esteem, and lessen their nervousness in new circumstances. In all honesty, one of the most significant expressions of affection is allowing your partner to interact with the world outside of your direct presence. Doesn't that represent the very core of bonding? For example, cuddling is a great method to communicate your love language. Since nothing is more reassuring than spending a peaceful afternoon cuddling with your partner, having an honest conversation about it might improve your relationship. It's important to realize, though, that not all dogs experience the same level of devotion. It may not always be the best idea to go right into a passionate snuggle session. Dogs may view bear hugs differently than humans, who frequently like them. For example, some puppies might not think twice about perching on your lap, especially those of larger breeds like Great Danes or Bully breeds. On the other hand, retrievers often forget how heavy their asses are, especially when food is involved. Other canines, meanwhile, might need some privacy. So, how can you make sure your self-reliant dog likes to cuddle? The The secret is to see how they behave. You are doing it correctly if your dog leans into you, unwinds in your lap, or begs for more affection. Instead, it's a sign to give them some space if they slowly crawl away or tilt their head away while they're not being held. When they seek out your cuddles on their own terms, it will be even more meaningful because you have respected their desire for privacy and independence. The ability to respect their intransigence or distance is what really says, "I understand you." Expand their perspectives. Dogs are explorers by nature. They thrive on variation, even though they may find solace in their everyday rituals, such as going for a stroll around a block and re-experiencing similar aromas. Making minor adjustments to their daily routine can make them very happy. How recently have you ventured out on a new walking route? By doing this, you can keep your dog's mind and senses keen while also exposing them to new situations. Every fresh patch of grass or tree a dog comes upon is like an undiscovered treasure, and their sense of scent is their window to the world. It can feel like a gift, even if it's just a patch of grass they have never marked before. Remember to allow them to pause and sniff as their human, who is taller than them, does. To your dog, stopping every few feet to explore a lamppost or stick their nose in a shrub may seem like a long, jerky walk, but to them, it's an exciting experience. The pleasure of sniffing is what motivates your dog to walk, even though their internal clock doesn't keep count of steps. These sniff locations are the highlight of your dog's day and the reason they get up excitedly every morning, whether they are used for discovering new scents or for returning old favorites. Activities raise your voice above words. Dogs and humans have a special communication gap because they are unable to express themselves verbally. Although it's sweet to say "I love you" to your dog, especially in that cute baby voice, genuinely bonding with them transcends words. Even if the conversation is one-sided, leaning in and interacting with your pet demonstrates your complete attention to the topic. They tilt their head, attempting to comprehend what you say. Dogs are highly skilled at detecting small hints. For instance, lowering your voice or squatting to their level promotes feelings of security, empathy, and camaraderie. They really enjoy the opportunity to smell and become acquainted with your aroma, which is another benefit of being close. For your work, you might just receive a warm, slobbery hello in return. The key is patience. Do you recall how you prepared for mishaps when your dog was a puppy? As they get older, you may have to clean up puddles once more. Frustration is common, but growing older has numerous drawbacks. Senior dogs may experience problems like slower movement, decreased bladder control, or sporadic confusion, just like people. Consider the years of love, devotion, and tail wags they have shared with you instead of being angry. It's a normal aspect of aging. They aren't attempting to cause mayhem. It's acceptable if your dog needs a little additional attention or more frequent trips to the toilet. Love, after all, is being there through the good times and the bad. Who knows? One day, they might do the same for you, helping you through difficult times or at the very least, bringing you joy. When play is not a priority, your dog may not want to play at times. It's possible that they have never been playful, or perhaps they're just not in the mood for a game of tug with their Kong, too old for squeaky toys, or simply too exhausted to chase a tennis ball. Understanding your dog's behavior is crucial, regardless of the cause. Each dog is unique in its energy levels, tastes, and peculiarities. Respecting that will only strengthen your relationship.